In this video, I'm going to give you 7 altcoins that will crush 2025's bull run. If we do get that bull run, and a lot of people are panicking about that, and that's what we're going to discuss in this video. But first of all, real quick, I want to make something clear that everybody that's panicking right now, I made a video yesterday, and I was checking the YouTube comments, and 50% of the people that I thought were about this bull run were panicking. They were commenting saying, that this bull cycle's over, I've round tripped again, that they fucked up as well. I would honestly look at that and I would ask yourself why you believe that, because we are still on track for, normal cycle, maybe a potential cycle. But I wouldn't discourage yourself and think the cycle's over. As we talked about in the last video, you can see the drops. The drops are very minuscule. The drops that we've had is a 17% drop. We go back to previous runs, we get 45 to 50% drops on Bitcoin, 60 to 70% on altcoins, solid altcoins. So, was this drop not bigger? Was this not when people were saying the exact same thing? Before we get into these 7 coins, by the way, guys, it's important to know this, because if you're looking to buy coins, but then you flip-flop because the bull market, or you believe is over, it doesn't matter what you buy because you're going to lose money anyways. So that's very important to know. Remember here, December 24, January 2025, when Bitcoin itself would crash 33%, and everybody said the same thing, then we went off to greatness. So we're about half of that right now, and we probably will go to 98K, 96K, like some people are saying. Doesn't really matter. If you believe this cycle's on, handle the storm, prepare for cash. If you don't believe it's on, before we get into this video, just get the F out and stop moaning, but don't buy back in if we do go higher later on. And ultimately, we're going to go higher. This cycle's over, this cycle's not over, whatever. Ultimately, obviously, we're going to go higher. So just keep that in mind. Now, let's get into the coins, because it's important. Number one is AVAX. I wasn't a fan of AVAX before starting some pools, etc. Not that I wasn't a fan, I just thought there was better options. It's an 8 billion market cap. The previous bull run, we got to 130, let's just say 125, whatever, just to make a quick math. So we were about 6x off that, and the bull run, don't know if it's going to get there in that market cap. There's a lot more coins in circulation, I believe, till the last one. But what I can tell you is why I like AVAX very much so, and why I started to buy a lot of AVAX, and why I'm getting a lot of AVAX for free is, number one, is I think it has potential to get somewhat of there, even if it doesn't hit the previous all-time high. It's somewhat going to get there. Okay, so there's money in this regardless for a top coin, I believe. But the amount of fucking reward you can get if you guys are doing liquidity pools is absolutely insane. Like, absolutely insane. I have so many of these pools. And you can play it super safe. AVAX USDC, for example, 18% wide range. You can really max this out and get a lot of APR. This is the best one we like so far. I think it's this one. Wait a minute. Let me find some other ones. There's so many opportunities here. Now, this is a little bit tighter range, but this is asset to asset. I don't want to confuse you too much. There's another one here, 10% wide. Okay, I would maybe bump that up a little bit, but you can still get 100%, 10% per month with decently wide range on asset to asset, which is pretty crazy. If you don't know what that means, ignore this, but this is just why, full transparency, I like AVAX, because of the pools you can get, and we obviously do a lot of DeFi liquidity pools. But regardless, if you're just a hodler of AVAX, I think you're going to do well. I don't know if you're going to get, this is not a price prediction video, I don't know if you're going to get this, but I think you're going to do well. It's shown momentum in 23, 24. It's shown momentum and 24 late end. It's obviously on a downtrend right now, let's be honest, because Bitcoin's on a downtrend. But just with the pool wise, that's why I would put it, it's not number one, it's not top 1 to 7, and there's many other coins, but that's why I would put it. Number 2, I've already gave it away, my bad, is SUI. Again, SUI pools and Turbo Finance are great. SUI, I believe, is a sleeper. It showed what it can do early on this run. 60 or so cents when it ran up to, give or take, $5 on TradingView. Absolutely fantastic. So it shows it can move. It is a higher market cap right now. Keep that in mind. It is getting up there, but it's a less market cap than Solana. And I believe it is the Solana of 2021 or 2020, but the 2021 cycle, if you bought in at the early days. Okay, at $2.50, I think it's an easy $10 coin. It's got great liquidity pools. It's got a lot of volume, and that's why we love it. The next one, as I know some people, is HBAR. HBAR has been phenomenally well for me. My portfolio itself, it was number 2, but obviously it's took a big dump, but it's now 100 grand in profit. It was close to 300 grand in profit, so the flip Ethereum. But that's just reality. All these smaller cap altcoins, and HBAR is not even a small cap altcoin, it's still a top 20. It's going to bleed, guys. Just understand, the lower market caps will bleed. There's some exceptions. The last coin I'll give you on this list will bleed less, but coins are going to bleed. You have to understand that. So just keep that in mind. Your altcoins will bleed a lot more than Bitcoin, Ethereum, but on the rise, to the upside, that's why a lot of us hold them. They will gain a lot more, and you can play a lot of catch up to ultimately probably buy more Bitcoin or cash out and buy a Lamborghini, whatever you're trying to do at the end of this bull run. So just understand that it's very important that you understand when the market bleeds, your altcoins are going to bleed a lot. HBAR itself, you can't do any liquidity pools. You can stake it on Hashback, but it's paying so little I wouldn't even bother. You can hold it in Ledger, I believe, and even the Tangent wallet now supports it, which is nice if you have that. I wouldn't hold a lot of it on exchange because exchanges are exchanges. They're good when you need them, but I wouldn't hold a lot of HBAR on exchanges, and I definitely don't do that. But it's a great coin. I'll tell you a funny story with HBAR. I had a friend that was all in HBAR. Not all in HBAR, but he was heavy in HBAR, which is fantastic. But just recently, before the dump, he was like, yep, I really see the potential for this. It's going to run. All the banks, all the UK banks are now using this to transact. I think it's Lloyd's. There's billions of dollars being used, but the Jeffrey story with this guy is he changed his mind. He didn't see a potential because of HBAR's obviously had a big drop recently. If you look at last month, now he's thought about selling his HBAR. In the last 14 days, his whole mindset with what HBAR are doing, with their teams, the development, the founders, all the things that he was telling me, the council, he's now changed his mind just because of price. And that is a Jeffrey way, because how can you change your mind? Because this hasn't left. Just that Bitcoin and HBAR and all altcoins are down, he's completely changed his long-term mind on HBAR just because of a bad 14 days because of Bitcoin. Don't you think that's ironic? How people can just change their mind on short term? I think it's crazy to think like that, and you don't want to be that guy. It actually annoys me a lot more than it should, because this is one of my old friends. Sad. XLM. XLM's the next one. You can do some pools, I believe, in XLM, but I wouldn't bother with it. XLM, I was going to put XRP here, but XRP is just a big market cap. I think it's going to do well. XLM's like its little baby. When XRP goes, XLM goes, and it goes a lot more just because of that market cap. You've seen what it did in 2017, should I say. 2021, it still did well, even though it was suppressed because it's heavily tied to XRP, and it was obviously a lawsuit, kept it down. But you've seen, like, look at these spikes, man. This is an example of, like, exponential growth. You know, going from, like, less than 10 cents and literally doing a 5x in a very short amount of time. It's very, very spiky, and that's because coins like this can move even with this market cap. I really do think this is going to be a sleeper, and it already has shown very well if you bought in around here. XRP you could buy as well, but obviously it won't move as much, but it'll be a lot safer. But I do think this is going to have a strong bull run when we get that final push. And again, people always say, well, XLM hasn't had a bull run. What planet do you think that's on? Look at the lows here. It's done super, super well, even today's prices. You know, it's at 31 cents. Could have bought it at 7. You know, back up here, it was an 8 or so X. Like, this is 8 years in the stock market returns, and people don't think this is good enough. I don't know. The next one is Render. There's a lot of hate with Render recently. I still think Render and AI will get its run. If you were to look at AI coins as a whole ecosystem, should I say, there's a lot of options, but there's maybe too much options. You've got BitTensor Tau. I guess you've got Near. I guess you've got ICP, but I don't really count them. Kind of bigger market caps that I would count that are actually AIs, Render and BitTensor Tau. You could buy both. Market cap is obviously less. It's about 4x less, give or take, on Render, maybe a 3.5. And then most of this stuff I would avoid right now because it's very, very risky. You could also go under AI agents, okay, which is another category you could look at, but I would maybe stay away from that right now just because we want to get clarification that AI goes, and then we start looking at AI agents, okay? Once AI goes, your AI agents are going to go crazy. But again, once we get confirmation, that's when you want to start playing rollover. So e.g. if Render starts to flip, and then you run some of that profits while still running up Render, still banking USDC or stable coins or taking out to your bank for profits. You flip some of that, maybe 20% to AI agents coins, and you make a second run up. Okay, that's how you make more money in this bull run using assets you already have, risk-free, because you've already banked profits. The next one is Aerodrome. Never been a fan of Aerodrome before I met Parker, one of our coaches in our group. And he's been running a lot of pools on Aero. He's had a full range pool. He's had some, I'll show you some other pools as well if you're interested in that. The reason why I like Aero, there's a couple of reasons why I like Aero. There's a couple of reasons why I don't like Aero. Number one is the max supply. This is a reward token, so you have to be aware of the sell pressure. That's why you're seeing this. That's why you're seeing this right now. Of course, with Bitcoin's price decline, Aerodrome's going to, get wrecked. But you've seen what it's done. It's not had a 2021 bull run, okay? Just keep that in mind. I really do believe this is a $10 token, if not $5 token, this bull run. So there's still multipliers left in this bull run. But again, we go back to Aerodrome pools on VFAT. Again, you don't have to do pools, but there's just some crazy pools you can get. Look at this. A lot of our guys run this. Wrapped Ethereum, okay, which is basically Ethereum, with Aero. And you can see here with a 21% range on asset to asset, you're getting paid more than 10% per month. Okay, you can make this way like tighter, okay, and get less APR, which is fine. Like I can really scale this on a wider range and still get, like look how wide I'm making this range, and I'm still getting over 10% per month. E.g., I know this is going to be a big shot. If you have 100K in here, I know people don't have 100K in here, okay, but if you did, you're making 10K per month. Think about that. On coins that you believe, not including compounding, and that's just going to change your life. If you have 10K, okay, you do the maths. It's the same game. So whatever you have, you just have to do the math. You're making an extra 1K per month on coins you believe it'll go up. You keep compounding. Our goal is to get everybody to 10K per month in our group, but it's just to show you what you can do rather than just being a hodler. There's so many options you can come in here, man, and do. Play with your coins, and I really do suggest, especially in markets like this, it just makes the game way more fun with cryptocurrency, because yes, I look at my portfolio and I'm down, I think I said this in the last video, down over, look at the maths, I'm down over 300K on paper, give or take. But my pools are playing catch up. So when we do ultimately go back up and I'm doing all this buying on coins that I believe in anyways, all these positions are going to be way more heavier because I'm compounding, I'm collecting coins, I'm also collecting stable coins as well. And it just changes the game, and you don't mind drops because all the volume that's coming in recently are just, that's why you're seeing crazy APRs. Okay, they're not usually like this. They're maybe like 5 to 8% per month, which is still crazy. But you can make a F ton more money, so we don't mind if the market goes down. Now, obviously, I mind if we were in a bear market, that would kind of suck. But I'm in the game anyways. I wouldn't have sold anyways. So it just makes the game way more fun. Okay, the last one, this is a risky one, is Zora. One of our guys told us about this in the group, in our private community group. This coin has been going against the curve. It is a very risky coin. Nobody should buy this, but I did this with a pool, a 6K pool. And I've basically already made halfway back my initial in 1 month, which is crazy. Okay, the pool that I'm running is this one, 2,300, 2,100%. I've got this a lot wider, so I'm getting about, I think, 500%. We've got a guy in our group called Kyle. He's making $500 a day on this, which is crazy. And again, not telling you to buy this, I'm just showing you as a last risky coin if you want a riskier coin with a riskier pool. This is their platform. So basically what these guys do, you can see their numbers, about give or take 500K to 800K users per month. Basically, this is a decentralized Instagram in its early days. This could totally flop. 100%. But I only bought this with 3 coins that I did off my Brett and Ethereum pool. Okay, I made 50K off that. I rolled over 6K into this pool. And we're just seeing how it goes. And the platform itself is pretty shit. Okay, it's very, very random. But this is how Instagram was back in the day. Look at this guy, what the fuck. It's an interesting platform. If you're a content creator, or if you're anybody that wants to check out this, you could post your content here. And I really do think this potentially could do well. It's not a sponsored video. Okay, I don't do sponsored videos in this channel anymore. I realized how bad that is, and I don't want to play that game. I'd rather just sell my own community and just make a fuck ton with crypto. I'm not playing that game anymore. But yeah, I just think this has a lot of potential with the platform. If this platform can keep getting more people posting, okay, what's going to happen to Zora? That's why recently you've seen in the last month this coin has went up 44%. Okay, when Bitcoins went down, Ethereum went down, HBARs went down, every coin's basically went down. The reason why this has went up is because it doesn't give an F what Bitcoin's doing. More people are posting on the platform. They're getting more website visitors to the platform. People are using it. People are posting on it. And this is how you can find coins with DeFi liquidity pools that can make you a fuck ton more money. This could go down tomorrow, okay, but it's a free bet for me. So nobody should buy this, but if you're interested in it, take a look at it. If you have a pool in it, take a look at it. I would definitely do a pool with it. And that's how you can make an F ton more money. Those are my top 7 coins. If you are interested, I will make a quick plug in learning how to monetize assets, what I've showed you before. You can book a free call. If not, completely fine. Okay, I've shown you how to do it for free. But if you want more one-to-one help, our goal is to get everybody to 10K per month. And we're pretty much halfway there on half our group. Most of our guys are at 2 to 5K. Other half of it's like 10K to 15K. Big guys like Grant are doing super, super well. But those are my top 7 coins, not in order. There's many other coins you could buy. I wanted to give you some safe ones with a riskier one. And I would love to know your thoughts on your 7 altcoins that will crush crypto in 2025. Stay in the game. It's a bloody market right now, but I promise you, in my opinion, you will be rewarded. Peace and take care.